우선 기존 아바타는 좀 전 인류적인 가치를 닿았더라면 이번에는 가족주의적인 느낌이 강한데 부성애 관련된 것도요. 한국에선 이런 부성애나 가족 영화들이 많이 있었는데 지금 이 시점에 가족주의로 간 이유가 궁금하고요. 그리고 두 번째는 이 러닝타임 관련된 겁니다. 요즘 숏폼이 전 세계적으로 유행인데 이 영화는 3시간이 넘는 러닝타임을 갔는데 이 영화를 그 정도의 길이를 고수하신 이유를 듣고 싶습니다.
And this question also goes to you, James. There are two questions. First one is, as you said, this time around in Avatar, The Way of Water, our main focus is not just on human greed or exploitation, but about the fatherly love, the value of family. And there are lots of Korean films whose theme involves family and takes great importance in Korean culture. So why this time? I mean, in the context of the time that we live in, why should we bring our eye to who we are, as a family? The second question is about the running time. Perhaps I'll ask the question after you answer it. Yes?
Well, I think that this also would be a good question for any one of the cast members here, because we all have families, we all have children. We all, I think, agreed that this was something worthy. You do a science fiction film and you go to another planet and you see these amazing creatures on this alien world. And it's important to ground it dramatically. People in the audience haven't been to another planet. They haven't done all these amazing things, but they've been part of a family. Even a few people who maybe don't have a family wish they did, or think they wish they did, because families aren't easy. Families are difficult. This is a love letter to family and how family makes you stronger, but it's also kind of tough, and we see a lot of tension between Sam's character and his sons, and and Zoe as a mother. We see Zoe. If you want to talk about that mother instinct that you were talking about, why don't you say something about that?
I think that after having conversations with you when you called us and you said you were already ready and you had your second movie, it was about Jake and Neytiri fell in love in the first movie, so obviously. Our trip to Pandora was a love story, and it was also about a boy, wanting to find a place where he felt like he couldn't belong, which these are very relatable themes. Jim felt that the continuation, the natural progression, just for Jake and Neytiri, was for them to start a family. But what do you do when you're raising a family in a time of war and great turmoil? You still steal moments of joy. You still find moments to encourage your kids to eat their vegetables and go to bed early while still, teaching them skills on how to stay alive. So Jim wanted to follow that theme of how relatable family and the complexities of family can be, but set against a beautiful backdrop of Pandora again.
I think, one of the reasons I wanted to come back and do another film was because of the family that we had created, our creative family, right? And it was respect for these actors, and so I had to figure out a way to get Steven back into the story, right? And then his story even is about family, because he has this interesting relationship with the son, but it's the son of his biological former self. Is that his problem? Clearly that becomes a relationship. I figured out a way to bring Sigourney back, and having her be adopted in by the Sullys, by Sam and Zoe's characters. So I was really just trying to figure out a way for us to get the band back together and have the kind of creative relationship that we had the first time, because it was so joyful for me, out of my whole career to have made the first Avatar film. And if we could reproduce that experience, I think we all wanted to do that.
Wonderful. And the second question was actually about the running time. I'm sure you're aware of this huge trend of short forms, and now people watch very short videos their attention span is not as long as before. Then why this long? Why this film had to be this long?
I've never heard anybody complain about getting more for the same price, except they do with movies. You know, if you got more of anything, you got more beef for the same amount of money, you wouldn't complain. Look, there are short novels and there are long novels. This one's a long novel. Doesn't mean it's a bad novel, okay? So, no, I mean, to put it in perspective, it's shorter than Titanic, and that worked out okay, right? So, we haven't had, from people that have actually seen the film, we haven't had any complaints about the length yet. To me, more of a good thing is more.
We also think of it as 2 hours and 72 minutes.
Exactly. That's healthy. 2 hours, 72 minutes.
예, 알겠습니다. 다음 질문 받도록 하겠습니다.